Thor 1 and 2 second viewing reviews. Thor 1, I believe, came out 2011. Thor 2, not sure. I'm guessing 2014, but don't quote me on that. Um, Original first viewing of Thor. So many plot holes. It was just very terrible. I don't know why I had high expectations for it, but reached way below. Natalie Portman didn't help. And Thor 2 I thought was better because, like, the Loki plot twists weren't as bad, but I didn't really care about the ending or, again, Natalie Portman or, like, the Aether. Although it was, like, interesting sci-fi element, fantasy element of the Dark Elves. So Thor 1 second viewing. The kids scenes sort of bothered me. Most of it was perfectly fine. My low expectation was low enough that I actually enjoyed it. So one kid is blonde and the other kid is black haired. They don't look anything like Loki and Thor. And I don't know, maybe the guys can change their hair colors. I don't know. I didn't know which one was who based on the acting. I couldn't tell if it was Loki or Thor who wanted to destroy all the frost giants. One's a jock, wants to look out the world, and they didn't go into depth of what they wanted to do with that. It doesn't help that you're using kid actors to begin with. So yeah, pointless scene. I also never. This has been like 7 years since the movie came out. Why did Odin want a frost giant for his son? I guess to preserve the peace. We never see them together as child and son. Again, that kid scene didn't really help. Maybe it was in the lead scene. But I don't know. There's so many questions about that, and I don't know. I don't see the purpose of that twist still. I felt a lot of people have sentimentality towards the Tesseract, and I sort of see why. It sort of felt like it was something different. Part of the film that was so exciting, but like, they don't say what the Tesseract's for. I don't get how it works with the whole Thanos thing. I don't know. I should care. I like the whole Cerebro homage with the teleportation scene. Skipping through fast, it sort of works. Thor cares about his dad. I don't get what the Tesseract is again. Who are these minor characters? It's cool that they're there. It's cool that they introduce them. It's cool that they can fight. But I don't know. They didn't feel like Thor and the Thor Avengers. They just felt like minor characters. They didn't seem like they were like a big deal, but not a big deal at the same time. I don't even remember their names. Something didn't click with me with them, and I'm pretty sure it didn't click with a lot of the audience. Also, supposedly he loves his dad, but then why go to Odenheim? And why is it forbidden to go to Odenheim in contrast? Like, because Odin said so? Like, I mean, he go to listen to his dad to show that he loved him, but like, I don't know, something's weird about that. He also calls one of the girls the girl warrior maiden, fierce warrior. Then there's some retort about the actions of a boy by Odin. He seems Shakespearean, but I don't know. I get into a little bit why that's a bit of a problem. Like, it's not real Shakespeare with like the rewrites and like the subtle meanings of everything that Shakespeare had to do with the double entendres, the gods, and all the metaphors and analogies. Like, it's just him not listening to Thor. And it's probably not bad, but it's very simple. They have an argument over how to defeat the Frost Giants. Thor wants to be all heroic. Odin wants to make sure that there's peace and he doesn't destroy them. But it's sort of hollow, too, because, like, I don't think does Odin actually think of the Frost Giants as an equal race? Thor obviously doesn't, and that's the problem with him. I'll get into why that's a problem with Avengers 1 with the Chitauri. Well, in that case, the Chitauri is actually trying to destroy them. The Frost Giants have preserved peace for a while. So it seems like they are sentient, just a little bit barbaric or something. There seems to be a whole backstory behind Laufey and Odin. That one moment sort of works in the movie, but like it never gets brought up in the rest of the movies, and I don't know, it seems lacking after 7 years. So it sort of worked at a time, and I didn't notice, but like at the same time, it didn't work in the overall story. The comedy sort of works on me this time, although it feels very cheap. Thor being on Earth is like Wonder Woman being on Greece. They're very dumb, and I don't know, like, is this Richard Donner would have this kind of humor? Or I guess they sort of had that in Supergirl, which he didn't even do. They don't understand anything, whatever. Natalie Portman is still bad in this second viewing. I'm already very exhausted by the time they talk about the science aspects of the film. Like, I want to see the sci-fi mythos, not the sci-fantasy mythos, not actual science. And I felt like that didn't feel like the same tone, and it felt like the same kind of stuff that should be in the film. Or like the Earth stuff. I skipped through most of it, and it felt a little bit better watching the rest of the film. I also consider the Shakespearean stuff a bit wooden for not as obnoxious. So I sort of felt this time that I got what most people feel from watching a Marvel film. It gave Thor B. Entertaining, but not super excellent. And definitely not one of the better Marvel films, although I disagree with what a better Marvel film would be. I saw the plot holes and all that annoying stuff like the Natalie Portman in it. What are your thoughts? Like, comments, subscribe.